International pressure is mounting on Vladimir Putin not to invade Ukraine. President Biden told Putin the U.S. and its allies would respond decisively if Russia attacked its neighbor. CBS 2's Christina Fan joins us live from Midtown outside the Ukraine consulate with the latest. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Cindy. The White House says, unfortunately, conversations between the two world leaders Saturday did not produce any diplomatic breakthrough. Thousands of Americans living in Ukraine are now being urged to evacuate immediately as U.S. officials warn a Russian invasion could happen at any time. As Ukrainians protest in the streets of Kyiv, the U.S. is removing staff from its embassy there, as the country is almost fully surrounded by hostile forces. During an hour-long call Saturday, President Biden warned Russian President Vladimir Putin that the U.S. would respond decisively, imposing swift and severe costs on Russia if it attacks Ukraine. The White House said in a statement the president was clear that the U.S. and its allies remain prepared to engage in diplomacy, but the time for diplomacy is running thin. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says U.S. intelligence shows that an invasion could begin within days and before the Winter Olympics in Beijing end February 20th.
If you look at the disposition of forces in both Belarus and in Russia, the Russians are in a position to be able to mount a major military action in Ukraine any day now.
American officials estimate about 80% of the forces Russia will need to launch a full-scale invasion are in place, and the rest are en route. Ukraine's president says his country is on edge.
The best friend for enemies, that is panic in our country. And all this information that helps only for panic doesn't help us.
Ukraine is holding military drills just miles from its border with Crimea, which Russia took control from Ukraine in 2014. Thousands of American troops have been ordered to Poland, where they are expected to be in place by early next week to join 2,000 troops already stationed throughout the region. And about 7,000 Americans who currently live in Ukraine have registered with the State Department. U.S. officials say anyone who decides to stay now should not expect any military rescue. We're live from Midtown. Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina, thank you. Here in our area, there are a lot of people with family ties to Ukraine who are watching the standoff with Russia closely. The U.S. military estimates an invasion could cause as many as 100,000 civilian casualties and force 5 million people to flee. New Yorkers with relatives in Ukraine are worried.
I have my mom there, my sister, and my cousins. So for now, it's okay, but we worry because we don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow, after tomorrow.
Ukraine just wants to live in a peaceful, democratic society without any incursion from Russia.
We have an obligation, to protect the sovereignty of a nation that's really under attack.
A rally called Stop Putin Now is planned for Thursday outside the United Nations.